So you just got hired on your first entry-level job position as a developer. Or maybe right now you're applying for your first entry-level position and you're trying to get in and you're super excited. Guess what? You need to watch this video because we're going to talk about the biggest mistake that you can make in your career. So let's get started. All right, guys, it's your boy Joe back at it again, codingphase.com. Your boy's back and I done did it again one more time. Now listen, I know a lot of people are excited to get into the industry, right? After you work so hard, you've been doing all these courses, all this training, right? And now you're finally getting a job. And now you're thinking to yourself, well, I made it. I'm here. That's it. I got a job. I'm in. Okay. And that mentality is the worst thing that could happen to you. All right. Especially when you come in and you get into an entry level position, similar to something like a content editor, product editor, web administrator, right? Email developer, and even front end developer. I see this all the time. People come in and once they get that first job, they basically chill. They stop learning. Okay. So I want to let you guys know that, yes, it's great that you have your first job. It's great that now you're in. Okay. And, I'm applaud you for that. Okay. It's great. I'm happy for you. But the truth is that you need to continue to learn. The goal is not to be a email developer, a content editor, and just a front-end developer. The goal is for you to become a software engineer, to be a full stack developer that can pretty much go in and do any type of position that's in the market. That's what's going to give you the edge that most people don't have. All right. You need to make sure that you are continuing to learn more skills and keep up with what's happening in the industry. All right. I'm going to show you guys a great example of this right here. So I give you a great example, like I said, of this situation, right? This is an email developer position, right? This is at Sony Electronics. So you could work for Sony, right? It's an entry-level position, $26 to $31 an hour. Now, for someone coming from the bottom, let's say you work a bullshit job. Let's say you are Uber driver. Let's say you work as an accountant, something, I don't know, something that's paying you less than $50,000 a year, right? This might be an upgrade. This might be something great for you. You might say, shoot, I'll be happy with this. And you might be right? You could live with this. But the truth is that there's a bigger potential for you, okay? Because yes, you can just stick with this one skill and you'll have a job, all right? And yes, you're already in, etc., right? You're able to pay your bills and maybe even go in and make a lot of even more money. There's positions where you could, with experience, go in and be making $75 an hour, right? Or even more than that. I've seen Amazon hiring people for like $180,000 as an email developer, okay? So yes, you could continue growing in that niche, but the truth is that when you are a full stack developer, this is where the real money comes in. This is when you really have those opportunities to go and work at major companies. If you ever wanted to work at Fang or you wanted to work at companies that, offer stock options, bonuses, etc., right? The goal is to become a full stack developer, okay? And this is where the big bucks is, okay? So when you come in and you get your first job, even a position like an email developer, the worst thing that you could do is just chill and say, well, I got a job now and I'm just gonna stay here. Guys, you have to continue to learn all of the skills that has to do with the web, okay? And if you decide to jump into mobile applications or software applications, that's different, right? But if you want to do web development, you want to be a full stack web developer, that you understand what happens on the front end, what happens at the back end, how all of these things work together, how servers work, right? Databases work, right? Understanding the marketing side of things of, as far as like email development, understanding how CMS systems work, right? Because there's a situation for every single tool, okay? So you want to go in and you want to be able to know the full spectrum of it, because that allows you to literally go in. For example, like right now, if I would just know email development, right? I'm only able to apply to this job. So if I search for email developer or just email in general, right? I might just have like 300 plus jobs that I have available to me. But if I understand the full stack and I understand everything about the web, I could just go in and search for HTML. And that is going to go in and show me every single job that is available for web development. We're talking about 16,000 plus jobs that you can qualify for. All right. So instead of you just putting yourself in a little box, you pretty much have the whole country, right? The whole market that's open right now that you can apply to, and just opens up the doors for you. All right. Again, as you can see here, as you continue to grow with having more skills, you can make more money. That's just the facts. If you stay in one single niche and you just stay there forever without learning just everything else that comes with the web, you're going to put yourself in a little box. And this is where people go in and be like, whoa, I can't find a job, right? And this happens for everyone, right? This happens for a lot of different people. Like, you'll see people that is doing front-end development and be like, well, I do React development. But they have no idea how other frameworks work. They have no idea about email development. They have no idea about WordPress or Shopify or any of these systems out there, or even how the backend works. I know front-end developers that have no idea how the backend works, and all they could do is just build HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and React. They don't know nothing else. They don't know how the full stack applications work. They just know that, hey, I have a backend developer. He sets up the REST API. I go in, do a request to that, and then I could build a front end. But they have no idea how everything else works. So then now when they can't find a job in that position with those specific skills, it's a wrap for them. Okay? This is where you see people be like, man, I have 6 months. I can't find a job. No, stupid. There's jobs in every single role out there. It's just that if you only are a one-trick pony, you only qualify for those things. So again, I'm telling you guys this as somebody who's been doing this for over 10 years. And I can tell you that was like the best thing that I've done in my career, which is I learned everything about the web. If I decided right now, hey man, I want to get a job, I could work as an email developer, I could work as a content editor, web administrator, Shopify developer, WordPress developer, Drupal developer, Salesforce developer, Node.js developer, PHP developer. I could work with Python. I could work with Ruby on Rails. I pretty much know everything that has to do with the web. And how did I do that? It wasn't just in 1 year. It's impossible for you to do that. The way how you are able to go in and master the whole web, it takes years. But what you do is you learn skills gradually, right? And you also continue to learn constantly. That gives you an edge over everybody else. There's people that only know one thing and they'll stick to that one thing for 10 years. When they get fired, they get laid off, they are here struggling because they have no knowledge of anything else. They have no way to go in and now start learning skills super fast. And now they have that pressure of like, man, I got to produce. I got to go in and figure this out. I got to build a portfolio. I got to go in and put myself out there. Like, you don't have to do that. What you do is you just continue on this road of, hey, I got a job and I'm going to continue learning these new skills and I'm going to continue leveling up as a developer. It's not about just getting a job. This is not a job. This is a career. I'm going to give you guys a great example. I used to work for a company where they used to go in and basically create, glasses for people, right? And the owners of the companies were 2 doctors. Now, these 2 doctors, even though they already have over 15 years as doctors, right? And they specialize in, the eyes, right? They still go to conferences. They still buy books. They still constantly learning what are the new technologies and new things that's happening within that field. It's the same thing somebody who's a surgeon. If you was a surgeon in the 1970s and you graduated in the 1970s, you have to keep up with what's happening in technology and in the medical field. You just don't stop and be like, well, man, I graduated in 1978. That's it. That's all I needed to do. No, this is a career. A career is something that you have to go in and you have to continue to, learn new skills, update what's happening, right? And continue to grow. You don't just stay in one position and be like, well, that's it. This is all I could do. No, you continue to grow. And that's how you're going to be able to go in and make a lot of money in your career, okay? Again, going back to a doctor, right? There's a doctor that right now works at a bullshit hospital, okay? Now, why does he work at a bullshit hospital? Not because he can't go in and do other things. Maybe, why he's not doing surgery, why he not getting paid like a guy that gets paid, $10 million a year and he's only making $300,000 a year. What's the difference? What's the difference between both guys, right? You might say, well, it's very simple. One continues to learn, one continues to educate himself and continues to bet down on himself and say, hey, I'll go to this conference. Oh yeah, it's gonna cost me $5,000 to go to this conference, but I'll pay that because I'll continue to learn the new things that's coming up, which is gonna allow me to take care of my patients better. And by me getting more results and better results, I can go in and charge more. And if I'm able to go in and have enough skills, I could set up my own practice. This is the same concept of being a developer. A lot of you guys get this wrong. Y'all think it's like, man, I'm just trying to get my first job and get in. And once I'm in, I'm in. No, this is a career. This is something that's a long journey. It's something that you're going to work towards to, right? To master this skill. And you're never really going to master it, but you're going to learn enough things that is going to get you to a point where now I could build my own business. Now I could go in and work for one of the top companies in the world, right? Now I'm going to make the most money. You're putting yourself in a situation where you could win in the long term. But if you stay stuck in just learning one skill, and once you get that first job, you want to stay there because it's comfortable to come home and just chill and watch, or Fortnite or play Call of Duty or just watch the basketball game and you just want to chill, drink a beer. That's cool and all. But guess what? 10 years from now, when you look around, you say, man, I started at this job for $60,000 and now I'm making $85,000. But then this guy that used to work with me, he's working at XYZ.com. He making $200,000. He recently is planning on quitting his job and now he's building his own business. He built an application. Now he making $4 or $5 million. Guess what? You only have yourself to blame if that happens to you. It's not the course. It's not the stack. It's not the person who put you in. It's not the company that you work for. It's you. You are the problem. You was complacent and you stayed in one single thing. You basically became a one-trick pony. And when they pull the rug and you got to scramble to try to find a job because you never kept up with what's happening out here, you never learned new skills, guess what? That's on you. All right. Now, guys, this is the main reason why at codingphase.com, we do things this way where we're constantly teaching you gradually. And I'm making this video because I've seen even some of my own students that they have this mentality that once they get their first job, that's it. It's like it's done. It's like, no, we have everything that you need so you can learn gradually within the platform. We can hold your hand through this whole process. We can guide you to show you which are the best careers for you with your personality, with the skills that you might have, with the time frame that you might have to be able to study, right? This is why we created this platform. And I don't want you guys to go through this. I'm seeing this from people that, came in 2020 and been working as a email developer. And then I asked them, hey man, how's the full stack skills? And they're like, well, taking some time off, and I'm like, bro, but it's 3 years. This is a career. This is not, hey, I'm training myself to get a job. This is a skill so you can go and continue to grow. So I don't want anybody to go through this because it's going to hurt you in the long term. You're going to realize, hey, I wasted 3 years. I wasted 5 years of my life that I didn't keep up with the industry. I didn't continue to grow as a developer. I just got complacent and I got a good job. But where could I be now that I have 5 years in the game? You get what I'm saying? Because now you got to start from here on. You get what I'm saying? When you could have just continued the same way how you was going through that process of every day when you come home, you go into your courses, you learn new skills, and you was doing that so you could get your first job. You got to continue to do that as you are on your first job, your second job, your third job. This is a career. This is a never ending thing. You have to continue to grow. If you want to make more money, if you want to grow as a developer, if you are comfortable where you at, then stay where you at. But don't be mad when you start seeing people that came in at the same time as you, and 5 years, 10 years from now, they're making way more money than you, and you're here living in your little 1,500 square foot home, maybe 2 bedrooms, and this person's living in a nice condo downtown, or has, a 5,000 square foot home, and you're like, damn, but we both started at the same time. It's a reason you never kept up with your career. Again, when you come to codingphase.com, guys, we here to get your results. We here to focus on getting you your first job. But when you come in, we have a plan laid out for you. Okay, web administrator, email developer, those are the 2 easiest things for you to get in. A lot of times people get this wrong. They think like, well, Joe, you're always talking about web administrator, email developer. Guys, because I'm trying to help people get their first job and then continue to help them go and learn full stack development. Because guess what? For these type of positions down here, you're going to need experience. So instead of me selling you a dream and tell you, hey, man, like a boot camp, hey, you could do all of this in 3 months and then you can't find a job and you can't get in and wasted your time. I don't want to do that. I want to go in and say, these are the things that we can get you in now, help you build experience. And once you have experience, then now we'll go in and focus on the next stage and the next stage. Okay. That's how you go in and you learn all the skills. When somebody asks me, Joe, how do you know so much? This wasn't a 1-year thing. We're talking about 10 years of constantly learning, 10 years of continuing to work on myself, right? I'm not one of these people that's cheap, that is like, hey, I wouldn't pay for a course. I wouldn't pay for a mastermind. I wouldn't pay for somebody to come in and help me grow as a developer, as a business owner. No, I understand this is part of business. This is how people go in and make the most out of their career. They have to invest in themselves, and you have to do the same thing. I don't care if you come to my platform or you go somewhere else, but you have to continue to learn. All right. That's just how it is. That's how you're going to be able to get the most bang for your buck out here. So again, when you come to codingphase.com, links in the description, I'm going to give you guys a 20% off. Like I said, we have a plan for you that works. There's students that come in, get comfortable right here, but a lot of students, they listen and they continue going down the line. All right. So again, this is also for all of you guys that maybe are not learning from Codingphase. Maybe you're going somewhere else. And I see a lot of you guys like, well, I work as a front end developer. And I'm like, where you at with your full stack skills? What do you know about CMS system? What do you know about any type of marketing in Salesforce and any of these platforms, this ecosystems that's out there? I don't really know anything, Joe. I just know HTML, CSS, and React. I mean, it's the most popular framework, right, Joe? And then when you go in and you get laid off and now you're here for a year and a half, like, yeah, man, the industry's so saturated, bro. You can't find a job anywhere. No, you did that to yourself. Okay, you did that to yourself because the web and just in general, software engineering is huge. If you go in and you search just HTML or you search Java or you search PHP, you're going to see thousands and thousands and thousands of jobs being listed every single month. If you are able to go in and just learn enough about, all the different branches that's out here of development, you pretty much can apply to all of the jobs that's out there. That just opens up the door for you. Okay. So this is why I created this video, to help you guys out understand this, because I'm seeing a lot of people making this mistake and I need you guys to fix that. Please don't stop learning. This is a career. This is not a job, guys. Okay. Think about the doctors. Doctors don't go in and say, I graduated in 1978, and they just stop right there. No, they continue to learn and update their skills. Like I said, guys, links in the description, right? 20% off. You pretty much get everything on codingphase.com. You basically pay $2.40 a day when you do a monthly subscription. That means like there's no commitment. You just come in, you try for a month. Cool, you pay $2.40. Guess what? If you come in, you say, hey man, I'm gonna sign up for the whole year. I'm gonna get the most bang out of my buck. Guess what? You could pay 80 cents a day. Literally, we're giving this away. And again, take advantage because this is what we do. We've been doing it for over 7 years. And again, you can look at the testimonial, see all the results that we have in there. Check out the Hall of Fame, and you will see that this is a platform that's legit for those that want to get help and need the help. Okay, if you don't need it, don't come to Codingphase. You know what I'm saying? We're not here to hang out. We're here to do some work. Okay. So, anyways, guys, it's your boy Joe back at it again. Codingphase.com. Hopefully, you guys enjoyed this video. Leave a comment below. Let me know where you at in your journey. Have you continued learning and updating your skills, or you just got comfortable and just happy that you got hired?